Well, the American Basketball Association was just starting. And George Mikan, of course, being from Minneapolis and the great Lakers star and, of course, legend in all those years that he played, they wanted to have a team in Minnesota. He just felt that we should, since the office was in the Twin Cities, he thought we better have a team. So he was able to get some investors together, and then this general manager, Eddie Holman, who was his next door neighbor, ironically, was the gentleman who took over the basketball duties from day to day. And it was just kind of a thing, I think, where he felt that because the Minneapolis Lakers were here, and they left in 1960, so this was 7 years later, he just thought maybe it would go, and he was really instrumental, I think, in making sure that Minnesota started out with a team. Well, we finished 50-28, had a great year, 78, and we won our first playoff series, and then we lost to the Pipers in the second playoff series. But I remember there were a couple games that really, where Mel Daniels just was outstanding. I remember the fans really were excited about that. Sometimes we'd have some pretty spectacular plays. I know that Connie Hawkins, who played with the Pipers and also played with the Harlem Globetrotters and is in the Hall of Fame for what he did with the Phoenix Suns in the NBA, he was a great crowd pleaser. You know, he'd hold the ball out with one hand and do dribble behind his back and do a lot of stuff that Rubio does today. They were here 1 year, 67, 68. Then they moved to Miami, became the Miami Floridians, and the Pittsburgh Pipers, who won the championship the first year, moved out of Pittsburgh and came here and were known as the Minnesota Pipers. And it's really crazy. And they only lasted 1 year, and then of course they, ironically, moved back to Pittsburgh. So the league itself, the ABA, didn't last very long, and then some of the teams merged with the NBA, which are some of the teams that are San Antonio, Houston, Indiana, are still in the league today in the NBA.